What do you do, YouTube? Quick update. I know I haven't put an update lately because I was kind of tired of making YouTube videos. So you guys probably won't be seeing too much update back to back, but you guys will see uh, progress and update as I move forward with the Chevelle. So whenever I have a big update, I'll go ahead and throw it on YouTube so you guys can stay up to what I'm doing with my 72 Chevelle. So what you guys looking at right now is the LS7 intake. Now when it comes to this intake, it's a whole different story. The intake I really wanted was the fast intake, the gray color, because this car probably going to end up being silver. Too much my coil suspension. I had in mind to do midnight blue or orange, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be end up doing silver with black stripe and then that little red around the stripe. So that's what I'm pretty much thinking I might do for the color of the Chevelle. But yeah, back to the intake. Uh, this wasn't the intake I wanted. After talking to Jags and Summit, they told me they don't have the fast intake. Both of them told me they don't have the fast intake. They don't carry it. I told them I saw a couple pictures on Google with that intake, the gray one. They told me the only way they might think it fit on this engine, they might have take the heads off and do some custom work to the heads in order for those intake to work. So I didn't want to pull the heads off, do all that crap. So I said hell with it. I went ahead and ordered the LS7 intake. So down the line, since I found the website, the dealer that actually make the fast intake for the LS7 head style. So down the line, when I swap the cam, I'll go ahead and swap the intake. But for now, we'll just go ahead uh, leave this intake on there for now so we can have this engine running. Now this intake, Jegs and Simon have it for around 690 some dollar, but I came across a website that was selling it for 350 plus tax. So I called them, I emailed them the website, and then they told me they will do a match price. So they dropped the price to 350 plus $20 taxes, so it was 370. So it's actually not bad intake. I actually like the look of the gray one, like I said, so I could have it match the color of the car. That's why I was more into the fast intake, the gray one. So now one little concern I have about this intake, since I work for a dye company that make car parts, so there's a little drag from here. This is probably came from the dye or the machine that make the parts. It's not a bad thing, but until I get used to it, it's gonna bother me. So I might end up calling Jag, see if they can send me another one. If they can't, I just leave it and then bolt it on and go with it. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's gonna bother me, that little drag. Like I said, at work I will consider okay, but since it's gonna be under the hood, I won't be seeing it too much. I might just leave it and bolt it on and keep moving forward with this build. Now every week I'm trying to order a part so I can finish putting this engine together. So next weekend I'm gonna go ahead, order the intake, not the intake, the water pump, and then I might go ahead order the headers. So I had some research to do, especially on the headers. Another thing I did on this car is the brake line. I ran the brake line. That's a new propulsion valve. Those two bolts I went to Menards. They are 1.5 inches. I went to Menards because I didn't want those ugly bolts on here, so I went to Menards, grab those two. So I was able to paint those brake line nice and clean, as you guys can see, all the way down to here. And then I also ran that one under the engine down to here. I gotta get a little bracket so I can finish mounting this one. And also for now I just throw those two on here, but I might have to bend them when I put the body on and then mount the brake booster on. So another update, what I've been working on is the rain guarder on the body. Now those parts were a little ugly because I was welding with my left hand, trying to hold that steel rod in spot so I can tack weld it. Now, reason why I add this steel rod, because if I don't, you guys will slightly see a gap between this trim and the roof, and it was kind of ugly, so I extended a little bit. So all I gotta finish doing is go ahead, tack weld the whole thing, grind it nice and clean, and then do a little slightly body work on top, and then that should take care of everything. And down here I got finished doing this. I tack weld this piece wrong, so I got cut it off, move it back so this can sit flush, so you guys can see. And then I got finished trimming these, weld this together. All these gotta be welding together, be one. And over here, as you guys can see, I'm trying to get that nice curve, make sure I match that little trim over here. So we still got a little more work to do before this thing can be ready. And one thing I like, I'm not gonna fill all this here with body filler. I've seen it because I like that curve, so I'm doing my best, take my time to tack weld it without damaging this piece right here, so I can have a nice clean curve look once it's done. I just like that little extra style detail on the top. And I still gotta finish working on here, so, and the other side also needs to be done. And other thing I did was, when it comes to this piece, I add another piece here, like you guys saw, like you guys see. I add another piece right here on both sides, driver and passenger side. I was able to get that nice curve, if you guys see, able to get that nice curve all the way down. Now I just gotta go ahead, finish grinding the spot weld just a little bit more, and then add a nice skim coat of all metal on here, do a nice clean body work, and then that should take care of everything. And also there was a hole right here. I add another piece to close that on. Like if you guys looking over here, this was the same, so I cut another piece, tack weld it on here. I just gotta go ahead, grind everything, weld everything nice and clean. And then since this wasn't all nice and flat, I add another flat piece on here, drill a hole first, and then add another piece also underneath. I add another piece, tack weld it. One last thing that I need to do is go ahead, take some 22 gauges, get that same shape, because the 22 gauge is a little thinner, so it will sit on here flush. So I'm gonna cut another piece, tack weld it, and that will take care of the firewall, and that should complete the whole firewall, other than do a little nice skim coat of all metal where I weld and take care of everything else. So yeah, so this is pretty much what I think I have. Oh, okay, y'all, this is pretty much all I have. Like I said, every weekend I'm going to go ahead order 1 or 2 parts so we can have this engine fire up, have the body ready to go on the frame, and see where this build take us. But this is pretty much all for today. You guys stay tuned. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead call them about that drag. This is from the die, the machine that make the parts. It's just gonna bother the hell out of me. It's okay. It's not a bad thing, but where it's locating, it's just gonna bother the hell out of me. So I'm kind of picky. I just like things to be perfect, especially if I pay a lot of money for something. I want to make sure I get what I pay for. So I'm gonna go ahead, call them, see if they can send me another one, and go from there. So you guys stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.